Hello from the future, or the past, because this video is actually recorded, it's not live, because this weekend I'm actually hacking a government satellite with some amazing people who are much smarter than me and know way more. But I wanted to spend a few minutes to actually share with you guys some tips and tricks for succeeding at failure and just my life experiences. So my name is Amie Dansby. I am from Dallas, Texas. My Twitter, my Instagram, my GitHub, and my webpage are here. Feel free to reach out to me after this talk, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys might have. So here's a video about me into my life and my chaos. Nuka lava. These are things I learned from failure, from creation, from improvement. So I cover a lot of Venn diagrams in my personal and professional multiverse, and I started a scholarship program for girls in STEM through the National Video Game Museum. I'm a software developer, I'm a biohacker, cosplayer, 3D printing enthusiast, maker electronics. I work in the metal shop, and I work with dangerous tools on the daily. And I also create with Lego. And Lego's always been part of my life through Lego robotics and through teaching and homeschooling. My mother taught Lego to me throughout my entire life. And I just happened to be on this TV show here in the US called Lego Masters. But all of these things that I've done throughout my life have one thing in common. They all started as something I had no idea of what I was doing. And I've kind of learned this through the years. If you don't expect to be wrong, you won't ever come up with anything that's creative through your iterative process. Failure is part of success. This entire talk, 8 million reasons to fail. And I did that because during filming for Lego Masters, there was around an average of 8 million people that watched per episode. And we were filming 18 hours a day, and I couldn't have done this without my amazing partner, Crystal. And as you can tell, we bring lots of color and amazing life to our builds. Quick background, if you don't know anything about Lego Masters, or you're unfamiliar with the show is produced by Brad Pitt's production company. Will Arnett, who voices Lego Batman, is the host. He's amazing, hilarious. The entire experience was phenomenal, but we were working 18 hours a day, and the entire concept of the show was you would build these, you'd have a challenge each episode. We had access to 3.3 million bricks, and some of our build challenges were 18 hours long. And some people were saying, that's not a lot. Like, they could build like a freaking house with that, but it's not true. If you've ever built a Lego set that you bought from the Lego store, with instructions and the bricks pre-sorted, that can take you 8 to 10 hours. So the concept of the show is, I mean, it blows your mind. You have no access to the internet, too. It was one of the physically and mentally most exhausting things I've ever done in my entire life. And I had to think about it because this is something that I love doing. And there are 10 teams consisting of 20 people. And one team would go home per episode. There were 10 episodes. So right away, you have a 10% chance of going home. So going into the show, we knew that. We knew that somebody was going home, and it could have been us every episode. And then there were going to be 8 million people watching us fail doing something we loved. And I'm no stranger to viewing my projects or anything that I work on for what they could be. I worked on a Tesla biochip implant hack, It unlocks and starts and drives my car with my chip. But I've worked my ass off doing something that hadn't been done before, and people didn't always see my vision. And if that would have stopped me, I wouldn't be here writing or telling this story or this experience, because the one thing that makes dreams impossible to achieve is the fear of failure. And it's so true. It's this fear of the unknown. If I look back and think, like, in the 1800s, if you were going to tell people that they could go in a metal tube and go all the way across country, they probably would have burned you at the stake like a sorcery or witchcraft. You know, I feel at projects all the time. It's a creative or iterative process that I obsess about, and I love it. But this is different. This was 8 million people were going to watch me fail. But if I would have let that stop me, I would never be where I am. You have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to do the work. So one thing I always struggled with was knowing where my time goes on my projects. So I always really dedicate and I time block my days. I time block my days to know, so I can be focused, how I can get better. It's very interesting because, you know, people say, can you record this video when you're doing PR? It'll take you 15 minutes. But that's not entirely true, because there's this assumption that you want my hair and my makeup look this certain way. And I know that that takes me 30 minutes. So know where your time goes. This will vastly improve the projects you get done in your personal and your professional life. And it also will help on an entire stress level that you were completely unaware of. So my takeaway from this quick little talk is my personal goals is I want the world or the galaxy or Mars to be better because I was here. I want my projects to influence or inspire other people to change their lives and make something magical. And another quick tip, surround yourself by people that know more than you and ask them questions. Find out where they are or where you want to be. Ask, make, share, fail, learn. I promise this will change your view on the world. It'll change your projects. Everyone knows something that you don't know, and everyone starts out knowing nothing. So if you can remember that going into projects, it'll completely change your view of the galaxy. And final last words, if you say you don't have the time or you're scared, you can't be scared of failure or the future because you're afraid of something that you don't even know the outcome of it yet. You can find the time, you can make the time. And as my favorite quote, life finds a way. So, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much for hosting me and having me on this talk. It means the world to me that all these people from all around the world are getting together to share their thoughts and ideas, whether it's through tech, IoT, JavaScript. And I really wanted to work on some tech projects, but this satellite hack project has been taking up a lot of my time. And I will see y'all on the internets.